cab 4x4. It has a 96 Dodge Cummins in it with an MV 4500. It has a dual disc towing clutch, organic towing clutch. It has an MP 205 divorced behind that. It uses a 1410 U-joints between the transmission and transfer case. I have not upgraded the rear drive shaft to 1410s yet. The front axle was gone through, has new rotors, brakes, and kingpin caps about 2 years ago. I put not too many miles on it. The tires are basically brand new. You might be able to see the nubs are still there. It has about 180,000 miles on the motor. The transfer case was rebuilt. The transmission has unknown miles. It does have the 5th gear locking nut upgrade. It has in the bed gooseneck hitch, the 5th wheel attachment points, but I do not have the 5th wheel hitch. It has a 45-gallon fuel tank, transfer tank that transfers into the back tank, and toolbox on top of that. It has backup lights. It also runs airbags. Very large airbags, and has traction bars. And you can see the 205 there. It runs all polyurethane, new bushings. I also have a 5th wheel tailgate that you can have with it. The interior has 2008 Tundra seats. There's multiple pockets. This one opens up over here too. The seat comes up to another. And there's a pocket under here. Shifters. Has a switch control. This is for backup camera. You can turn it on permanently. This is a fuel transfer pump. Then this one's to shut off the water meth injection system. And this is for the front and back fog lights. It's got Bluetooth CD player with touchscreen, boost in EGT gauges. Back seat, Tundra seats again. Seat flips up like that, gives you a ton of room, and they also flip forward where you can put stuff behind them. Really nice. Look at the motor. It has batteries that are 1 year old. The radiator is brand new. It has a new clutch fan on the motor. The motor has a killer dowel pin kit installed. The vehicle does not leak any oil, coolant, or anything. I went through and put all new seals when I had the motor out, and the transmission, and like I said, rebuilt the transfer case. It runs a Chevy Hydro Boost. The intercooler is completely above the bumper, so it gets maximum cooling pressure. It has new boost hoses. It runs a big air filter. New alternator, new water. No, it doesn't have a new water pump. That's the only thing I didn't change. His new alternator, new starter, and you can see the water meth injection comes into there. The tank is in the toolbox on the passenger side, top side, and it's about 3 gallons. And the back. See how much space you get with this. You have tons of space to put stuff back there. If you want to store something on a flatter ground. And all the space behind. I don't know why I did that. The headliner is coming down, starting to come undone a little bit in the back. The seat does have a little bit of damage on this side. And you can see into this little cubby. I moved the RPM gauge. It runs off the alternator, so it's not 100% accurate, but it gets the job done, lets you know what's going on. And this little light right here, that lets you know when the water method is injecting. You can adjust it to where it ejects. I have it set at around like 16 psi, just because I always just ran water through it, so to keep my EGTs down when towing. It runs the really nice trailer brake controller. There's the other gauges. Does have mismatched color visors, unfortunately. Runs 4-inch exhaust from the turbo down all the way to a downpipe through pretty much straight through muffler. Has all new rear brakes also. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff. I've put a lot of work into this truck, a lot of new parts, and it's in great shape. I just got back from the Rubicon where I towed my trailer up there. Towed great. Tons of power. And I think that's about it. You'll be able to hear the dual clutch when I push in it. This is a true dual clutch. It doesn't have the quieting things in it. You can hear that dual clutch rattle around, which is normal. And the dual clutch is brand new, has about 1,000 miles on it, or probably about 1,500. And it has a new input shaft and bearing. The fuel tanks, they only runs off the back tank because the transfer fuel switch died again, and I was going to remove the front fuel tank to put a Brownie box, another transmission in. It's an overdrive transmission that will come with this truck. I have a lot of the parts that go with it to do the conversion. It has another shifter that I was going to put right here, and I have the shifter, I have a small drive shaft for 1410 U-joints, and the yokes to go on to the other transmission. But yeah, that's about it.